So Vincent, we've had some news from International Airlines Group today. This is the combined company between British Airways and Iberia. They've announced plans to turn around Iberia, which is a loss-making part of the group. What have they said?
Well, it's a fairly dramatic announcement actually on a Friday heading into winter. Essentially, Iberia is losing lots of money. Just within the IAG group, they announced their 9 months results today, and the operating loss at Iberia, which is more than 250 million euros for the 9 months, almost outweighed the operating profit at British Airways. That's how unbalanced the two airlines are inside IAG. So basically what they've announced is that Iberia is going to cut about a fifth of its workforce and retire a quarter of its fleet, roughly. So that's to turn itself around.
That's a big change. Will it work, do you think? Will it manage to turn things around at Iberia?
Well, you know, Iberia, its fundamental problem is that it's not competitive, and it's very difficult for airlines to turn themselves around. It can be done because, I mean, British Airways turned itself around, more or less, and but Iberia is not competitive. You know, it's not competitive with Ryanair and EasyJet in terms of short-haul flights, or with some of the Spanish low-cost carriers in terms of short-haul, and on long-haul, you know, again, it's just is not profitable, and it's overmanned, and there's lots of competition emerging out of Latin American airlines for the whole Europe-Latin America business, which is potentially very lucrative.
Do you think Willie Walsh will be able to, he's the chief executive, whether he'll be able to push it through or not? The group is already in dispute with Spanish unions over pay to part of Iberia's express business. This surely creates the potential for a lot more conflict.
It does, and it's interesting that the announcement this morning was very much sort of made by Spaniards. You know, it wasn't a Willie Walsh announcement in that sense. It was an Iberia announcement within the sort of IAG umbrella. There's going to be a lot of opposition, political opposition, trade union opposition. I mean, I think that it's the choice between pushing it through and probably going under, or at least, you know, being shriveled back to an unrecognisable Iberia.
Now, this isn't all that IAG is doing in Spain. It's also announced this week the acquisition of another low-cost airline there. How does that fit into the overall picture?
Well, I would have thought it fits in the sense that it's the potential model for Iberia's low-cost model, you know, from here on in, because it's clearly not competitive with Ryanair and this small airline Vueling, which IAG bought the other day. I mean, you know, merging Iberia's short haul with Vueling in the low-cost model seems to me to be the way to go. So I think that may be what it's used for.
Well, that's obviously where IAG is hoping to go in Spain, but there might be some difficulties on the way, particularly with the unions. Vincent, thank you very much.